Hello everyone, this is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly reading for July 7th through 13th, 2014. This week's reading is actually with the magical messages for the fairies, but I was getting a loud hit that there are some of you that are worried about specific health-related concerns, so there'll be a couple of cards outside of the weekly reading that I will do after the weekly reading. For that. So it doesn't have to be just for one person. It could be anybody who is concerned about either their own health condition or the health condition of a loved one, okay? But first we're going to start with our weekly reading with the magical messages of the fairies, and I have pre-drawn 3 cards, and let's see what the week ahead has in store. Okay, this is the Monday, Tuesday card, and it says, say goodbye to the old, hello to the new. You've finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. And you know, I'm hearing that this is a good thing, even if it feels like a bad thing, but mostly it's a good thing, because the say goodbye to the old and hello to the new is a part of the prayers that we've been praying, that things would change and change for the better. Sometimes the outcome doesn't always come like we'd expect. You know, they're drawing me to the part of my life that I was just writing about in the book that I'm writing right now, that in 2010 and 2011, I went through a transformation that honestly felt like shit. Sorry for the expletive, but that it just kind of enunciates the way that it felt. It was not good. It actually forced me, you know, I had moved away from home, thought that it was what I wanted. Things kind of ended up falling apart. I ended up having to move back home with barely the money to do it with. I lived with my mom for a while, and it really forced me actually to allow myself to receive. I feel like I've heard somebody else say that there are, you know, and we've said before too, a lot of us are givers, and something like that as an example will allow you to have no other choice but to allow others to receive, because in some way you're helpless yourself. You know, it was humbling, it was difficult, but I came out of it more the better. And sometimes as spiritual teachers, stuff like that happens in our lives to help our compassion and our empathy for others in our work. You know, we are loving, giving souls, but it doesn't mean our lives have been perfect. You know, probably quite the contrary. And this, my talking about that is not saying that this goodbye to the old, hello to the new is necessarily a bad thing. It's just saying that if it is something that all of a sudden your life changes for whatever reason, a relationship ends and you're not the one that chose it, or you know, for whatever reason your job ends, your source of income ends, you know, there may be a reason for that. And even though it's scary, they're also leading me to another situation where when I lived in Boston and I worked at a real estate office, there was somebody that I felt really connected to. Like, he was one of the managers in the office, and he was part of the reason that I started working there. And then I heard one day that he had been fired, because in sales, you get fired for all sorts of reasons. It's very different than a normal job, but nonetheless, I had a knowing that when I heard that both me and the other good friend of his might be out the door too. That didn't end up happening to me, but I ended up following him to basically start his own real estate office, which he'd been dreaming of, but he didn't know how to do. And I will never forget that first day that 3 of us worked out of essentially what felt like it was as big as a closet in a building that he had rented from. And he said to me, "Lisa, I'm scared. I am scared to death." You know, he hadn't planned to lose his job like that. He hadn't planned to start his dreams like that, but he had no other choice than to take the leap. And I have to say that was about 3 years ago, and now he is highly successful and has his own real estate company, and you know, it uses his name. It's getting well known around Boston. If you live there, the name of the company is Shillelagh Real Estate. And I am proud to have been around him when that dream started because it's been so wildly successful. Um, maybe he wouldn't say that, but to me, that's the way I perceive it. That I feel like it's gone above and beyond his dreams. He's got a home where he lives. He's got a summer home. Just lots of benefits that have happened as a result of the fact that he's living his dream. Now, did that dream start the way he thought it would? Probably not. But regardless, our dreams are coming true. And I feel like, it's not always a bad thing, but if you feel like, if you're hearing this card and thinking, well, nothing's been going right for me, maybe it's for a reason. And maybe the discomfort happens right before things start to turn out miraculously. So hang in there. Okay, let's see what we have for midweek. Pregnancy. So it says, the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and to the world. Now, this is a message I feel, first and foremost, for those of you that have been hoping to have a family, to add to your family. That might be through traditional pregnancy, it might be through adoption, it might be through any of the other things. If it's not a human child, it could be an addition to your family through, dog or cat, but this is mostly about those that want to have babies or children. There are a lot of little light workers coming to Earth, and what better than to have other light workers that give birth to or adopt them or host them or have them in their family in some way, shape, or form. This also can be a card for giving birth to ideas, or like I am writing a book and I'm just finishing up. I should say I'm at the home stretch of the Indigo Warrior book, which I know a lot of you are waiting for. And in doing that, in getting to the end of that, I'm about to give birth to my new book. So this could be something like that, where you have the birth of a new idea or dream or the fruition of a project that's coming to light. Okay? And before I move on, they're saying to me that even if you don't think you can do this project or can get pregnant or can adopt or whatever it might be, you need to try to get out of the way of the how, because I feel like there are miracles in action right now. Okay? All right, and to go along with that, what an exciting week, but I will focus on the weekend card, which is new career. And it says, your work focus is shifting in a positive, new, and successful direction. Have you been dreaming of a new job, of a spiritually based career? I know I have. And I feel like what they're wanting me to focus on, the fact is that I've been working on my books. I've been doing medium work part-time. I've been doing books part-time, if you can believe it, because I still have a day job. And it's because I have had self-employment before, and let's just say I learned how not to approach it, okay? And I feel like that experience readied me for when I transition into self-employment again, because I feel like it will happen, and I would like it to happen. But I also know that, I want to take my time with it and not have it happen before I'm ready. So what I've been doing is writing books. I've been doing some medium work, not as much as I'd like to be, but I do it. And in doing that, I co-create with the universe what I want. And I'm not the only one listening to this that has been doing that. And they're saying that this is all going to happen, and I feel like it's going to happen better and smoother than you think. Going back to that first card here of the week, of the story that I told you about my friend in Boston, who now owns his own business as the results of things happening a little unexpectedly. So to me, it looks like a really exciting week, that things are going in the right direction, that even if you say goodbye to the old, you might give birth to some new dreams, new ideas, or even have a new member of the family. And that new career is going to come to fruition a little bit at a time if you co-create with the universe. If you are thinking, I want a spiritually based career and I don't know how to do it, first of all, they want me to say to you, you are worthy. Okay? They want me to tell you that there's not enough of us out there, which I've said before. So if you think I don't know how to do readings for others, or I don't know how to do healings for others, then do what you can to learn. But know that you need to take baby steps, because you can't force it. But if you've been working on it, like you've been getting your certification as a Reiki master, or thinking about, you know, doing something like a medium gallery, which I just talked to somebody yesterday because I haven't done something like that in a long time, taught classes, and I was kind of asking the universe for help because I just don't, I feel like I'm always doing lots, and I don't have the time to call to look at spaces to do it, and all of a sudden it was like bing, the light bulb just went on, and it was easier than I thought to find a space to plan it. And, you know, and I feel like when I say this, I'm seeing like a red carpet being rolled out. That not only are you going to walk along the carpet to the path of your dreams, but red carpet to me also means some sort of fame or celebrity. So if you're thinking that that's the direction that you're going, that you're getting to be a little bit more well known, I feel like you're about to get credit for a job well done, and that might, I'm hearing like explode exponentially, faster than maybe you think. So, wow. And if you are just starting on your spiritually based career, you'll get there if you co-create. What an exciting message, and kind of a lengthy message this week, but I think that it's worth it. Now, I don't want to overlook the 2 cards that I've drawn previously from the Archangel Raphael deck. Remember, I said at the beginning of this reading that there are some people out there wondering about health conditions, either a serious or not so serious one, but a health condition for either you or someone you loved. And this could also mean a pet, okay? If that's the situation at hand, whatever the first thing you think of comes to mind, it's for you. If you don't feel like this is going to apply to you in any way, you don't have to listen to the rest of this, but I feel like it's for those of you that need this message, okay? What I'm getting is avoid allergens. And there's a prayer on the front of these cards, and it says, Dear Archangel Raphael, please assist me in identifying and avoiding allergies that may be toxic to my health, or allergens rather. Help me to only crave healthful foods and beverages. Yeah, and I'm hearing that, some of the foods and the drinks that we have just no longer, they worked for us in the past, and they don't work for us anymore. I'm getting an example in my head, which is Diet Coke. I drank Diet Coke for a lot of years. I still am not off of it completely. And my guides have told me it's pretty much poison, and I can only have so much. And I'm getting there a little bit at a time. I quit smoking cigarettes for probably about the billionth time at the beginning of this year. So see, spiritual teachers are not perfect. I had gone with cigarettes on and off for my life and quit once for 6 years, and the long story of a former smoker. And I had been down to only a few cigarettes a day, but I just had a knowing it had to stop. I mean, it's obvious, I don't need to tell you that, but it was like something just clicked and it was time. And I'm proud to say it's been 7 months, and I've stayed true to that. And so I feel like I'm giving myself time with one toxicity at a time, if you will. And I want to give myself credit for what I've succeeded in, and not think about the things that I haven't yet detoxed out of my diet. But I too am feeling like the detoxing, not only so I can be a clearer channel, but just so I can be a healthier person. So if there's a health situation that you don't know where the hell it came from, it could be something that you're eating. Is it gluten? Is it something else? And this message isn't about me, so I'm going to try not to give too many of my personal opinions in this. It's just, you may feel like that has a worthy message in it for you. It doesn't mean you have to eliminate everything that's pleasurable from your diet or your life, but think about the fact that you only have one body, and you're here to do some good, and try to balance it all out and be easy on yourself. But if there's the mystery health situation, it could be an allergy to something, and it's worth exploring, okay? And then the other card is to, kind of goes hand in hand with that. Listen to your intuitive feelings. And the prayer says, Dear Higher Self, thank you for speaking loudly and clearly in peaceful ways that I easily understand. Archangel Raphael, thank you for guiding me to listen to my inner wisdom. Okay, so what they're saying is, if you've had the intuitive feelings, and I'm sorry about the overhead light there, but if you've had the intuitive feelings that it's time to detoxify, or there is some sort of underlying reason that a health professional is not catching, it might be something dietary, or, you know, something like if there's any sort of nicotine or alcohol or something like that that you've been feeling like I need to do less of, or I need to give up, and you don't know how you're going to do it. This is a sign. I think because I am sympathetic to, you know, I just talked about smoking, and I'm sympathetic to other smokers. And I've seen my boyfriend go along this journey with me. And we kind of did it together, and he has not been quite successful as I have, but it doesn't mean he's a failure at it. It just means that it's not always easy. And sometimes when you try to detox from something, and especially if it's a lifelong habit, you just have to allow yourself, you know, to be patient with yourself, to know that you make mistakes sometimes, but know that when it's time to do it, you'll do it. And again, if you've been getting intuition about you or someone you love, like that he's too young to have a heart problem, or, you know, she doesn't have that lifestyle habit that would say that she'd have diabetes, or whatever it might be, your intuition just might be right. So I hope that this was helpful to you. I just kind of go as I'm guided here with the cards. I wish you all abundant blessings for the week ahead and always. And I will see you again next week.